I'm going to bring her up. The icing on the cake. This is our beautiful Reverend Tress, and she's going to tell us about infinite possibilities. But she says, who knows? I remember Tom Sanner said, never let your title interfere with your talk.
Okay. Can you hear me good enough? Can you hear me way too much? Okay. Well, I have it hooked up here, so. All right. I want to talk to you about limitless possibilities. And I was doing my talk last night on our computer, and it's set up. I'm figuring out, okay, this book, this, what am I, and I'm doing it. I don't know, I might take this off. Next thing I know, it'll be picking up my heartbeat or something. I don't need that. I'm working on my talk, and here comes an email. Bing. Now, some of you may know, but probably most people don't know that a large part of November, I was involved in going to different seniors' homes, and we were doing a Remembrance Day service there because they can't get out. So I went to one senior's home, and there's a man and wife I know very well through a service club I belong to. And the woman, she said, there's the man, my hubby's, he's over here, and why don't you come and talk to him? He might not remember you, but so I go talk to him, and I say, I'm Tress, and remember we used to do all this together in our service club, and we used to have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and he's talking to me, and it was so good to have a visit with him. So here I am sitting there working on my talk, and bing, and here is the notice that her husband had passed away. But it's sort of, and I'm thinking, you know what? I was doing this Remembrance Day, and the purpose for me was the seriousness of war, etc. And then I realized, but part of it is seeing the people, the connection, because so many of the people, they knew what I was talking about. I was just one person of a group, but I got to see him and talk to him and share with him. And so who is this fellow that I want to talk to you about? I mean, we're talking limited possibilities. We'd look at him if we didn't know him, oh, an old man, an old man. Well, Mr. Old Man, he was a highly decorated RCMP officer. He would have been tall and proud and so many things. He helped his community. So, you see, we all have something. Everyone we look at has their life, their dreams, everything. So once in a while, see, it wasn't sad because the memory of him will always go on. He's always going to be alive here and with all of his people. And every once in a while, something really grabs our attention. For me, it grabbed my attention. We were at the bookstore, and I saw this book. It's entitled We Were Dreamers. It's an autobiography of a Chinese immigrant. So I'm reading this book, and this fellow's parents, the dad, he decided, okay, I need to get an education. It was really hard to get out of China to pass the exams. He got to the States, and he had met a woman, his girlfriend, and they got married in China. So he was going to bring her back. Well, they're saying, you know, if you want to bring someone with you, you know, there's universities in Canada you can go to. And they are very acceptant. So the father, he went back and decided that, you know, are you going to come to Canada with me? Okay. Well, we'll get the arrangements. So he started to get the arrangements, but when he went back, guess what he did? He fathered a child. He didn't know it till he got back, of course, to Canada. Well, then the mother, she came over. But here's the little boy, and he's just there, and he's just got the best life. He's got grandma and grandpa, they're taking care of him, and they are very poor. And they, like he has, you could only have hot water for a certain time, and so they'd make sure they had enough hot water to give the little guy a bath and all of that. Well, then he was 4 years old, and they're going to bring him back to Canada. So Papa, he goes over and he visits the relatives, and he's not used to this little 4-year-old. Well, Mr. Full of energy, you know, he's like a Mexican jumping bean again. Gets this little, he's a little monkey of a kid. You can just see him. Well, good, they're visiting relatives, and he's never met the mom's side. And oh, there's this cousin to play with, and well, you know, let's play jump on the bed. Well, it wasn't that far off because there was a mattress on the ground. But I mean, he doesn't do anything little. He's got to do it big time. So he went and did the big time, fall down, break his arm, the whole bit. The very next day, he was leaving. So here's the dad's feeling really bad. Here's the kid with his arm, you know, and so they go, well, they come to the guards, the military, that are going to allow them to leave. And there's 2 desks there, and the one desk, he brings little Simu, he brings little Simu there, and they say, okay, he can't enter, where's his paperwork? Oh, am I supposed to have paperwork? Dad didn't know. Well, the other guard, he just happens to be grandpa age. And he said, well, look at that poor little boy there. He has a broken arm. Now, he's suffered enough. You just let him through. Well, so they let him through. And he got to come to Canada. Now, his parents were highly educated. They were teachers at universities. And they have great big dreams for him. And he went to university. He's going to do what Mom and Dad says you got to do. Well, yeah, no. That shoe didn't fit. That just did not fit. So much to his parents' chagrin, he decided, you know, I like the stage. I think I might like acting and singing, and he was really in top physical shape. Well, okay, but we don't like it. Well, he ended up getting in different TV shows, CBC shows. I'm not sure if anyone's seen Kim's Convenience. It's a CBC show that takes place in Toronto, and he's just the eldest son. Well, it didn't stop there. He's going to Comic-Cons, so he's getting a name for himself. Well, this little monkey of a kid, he ends up getting a lead role. It's in a movie. It's not just any movie. It's a Marvel movie. I took my grandsons to it. He's got the role as Shang-Chi in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And I mean, he's all buffed up and he's got these magic rings, but it's not just like the same old. He is a brand new character. So here are people that dreamed, that did not believe that, like they believed in limitless possibilities. They went ahead. And just by luck, they were able to get into Canada. Just by perseverance. And that little kid, he got into Canada. He followed his dream. And he ended up, now he can continue on, and maybe there'll be a series 2, series 3. And he was just some little boy that was quite happy getting bathed by water that you could only get once in a little while. They believed in their dreams. And the science of mind says, like Dr. Holmes says, back of every event, the slightest effort you make, the smallest concept you entertain, there is an inexhaustible reservoir of life, of imagination, energy, will, flowing through you into action. And they just kept following their dreams. They were connected with that higher power, and they believed, and that is what happened. Well, I was talking about things that grab my attention, and I know I've told many times I don't like to sleep, and this was one of these nights quite a few years ago that I forget sleeping, and I'm turned on to an Edmonton channel, and it's a local TV show there that they're showing of local entertainment. And how could I not have my attention pulled away from me? I saw this ball of energy up there singing. And this ball of energy, she was wearing these cat eye glasses. She had on cowboy boots, but they were old farmer cowboy boots that she'd cut off at the ankles. So, they were the weirdest looking boots. She had a cowboy shirt. She had a square dance skirt. And she is dancing and singing and going all over the place. And she called herself Cowboy Punk. And I thought, hey, I like her. She's just up there showing you her stuff, and she doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she's having a good time. And holy did she have a voice. So just remember, she had a dream. She believed in herself. And remember, back of every event, the slightest effort you make, the smallest concept you entertain, there is an inexhaustible reservoir of life. She just kept going. I imagine most of you know who this quirky kid is. But if you don't know who she is, her and her band, K.D. Lang and the Reclines. K.D. Lang, that quirky little kid, she closed the 1988 Calgary Olympics, getting up there, dancing, entertaining. She opened the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. She had her face with Cindy Crawford on Vanity Fair. I don't know if any of you remember it, but she was the barber, and Cindy was sitting in the chair. She sang with a BBC concert orchestra. She's been on Broadway. She's won Juno. She's won a Grammy. So I just keep thinking, well, those who thought she was kind of nuts, well, I guess being nuts worked for her, hey? But what about us following our dreams? Do we follow our dreams? You see, we talked about fear, it was just read, but fear, what is fear? Nothing more or less than negative use of faith. Faith misplaced. So what is our faith? What are we believing in? When we use our creative imagination in strong faith, creative imagination, it will create for us out of the one substance, the God essence in us and through all. We have formed thought. Our thoughts are things, and they're acted upon by the universal divine intelligence. Everything, like the light bulb, it was once in someone's imagination. Chair, thank God we have them, was once in someone's imagination. And then came through how you make it. So what is it you want? Think about it. I invite you to do an exercise every day. Take 10 minutes to imagine a wonderful thing happening to you. Make it as real as you can see it. Hear it. Feel it. Breathe it. And allow yourself to dream and allow yourself to believe. Well, why don't we do that now? I invite you, if you wish, to just close your eyes and imagine, think of a dream that you have had or a dream that you have now. And just see it. This is your dream. Feel it as if it's so. Breathe it. In your mind, look around you and see it happening. How do you feel now that it's happening? See that you have unending energy within you to continue. Feel it. Embrace it. Now, you may come back to the room and realize that at any time, you can imagine yourself going forward. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your inner guidance. Because we're always guided by that divine mind. We can't see it, yet we can sure connect with it and feel it flowing through us. Ernest Holmes says, man by thinking can bring into his experience whatsoever he desires if he thinks correctly and becomes a living embodiment of his thoughts. So it's one thought at a time, one step at a time, one belief at a time, one hurdle at a time, whatever it takes. I mean, what else have we got to do but live our life? And why not live our life to the fullest? So my husband and I, we went to a craft show on the weekend. And there were 3 craft shows right in a row. It was just packed with people. But he bought me a little macrame hanging, and it was hanging from a tree branch. And he knows how special that is to me. I have a macrame hanging on my wall. Well, the lady who made it, she was just starting. You could tell she's just starting to go out to be a craft seller. She had these rocks, little rocks that she'd made into keychains. And she said, oh, I'll gift you each one of these rock keychains. And I picked mine, and it was the shape of a heart, but it was like a real stone. It was naturally formed that way. So that started the beginning of a love relationship between this lady and I, because she said, I'm a rock collector. And I said, well, yeah, I'm a rock collector. And here we're doing our rock collecting stories and our love of rocks. But I didn't tell her the other part. You see, I make my own. I call them sculptures, but everybody would fall out of their chairs laughing if they looked at them. And I put them on the wall, and I collect the wood from the trees around me. I tie it up with ribbons and with wool and moss, and I've hung them on the wall. And you know how family loves us so much, and they're so honest to us. Well, bless my family. What's that on the wall? And I'm thinking, I love it. And the children, when they were little grandchildren, Granny, that's spooky, that thing you have on the wall. And I'm thinking, well, no cookie for you when you come to the coffee shop. But I felt connected to nature. What is it you do? The littlest thing is important to you to share. Some people actually have their own little altar where they put their precious things. So what story do you have to tell? Think about it. Because we stand in a limitless possibility of endless opportunity. You just got to get in the car of your mind and get that gas going, put it on, and get going and start. There's the law of attraction. It's a principle that what you think you get, what you think, your thoughts are what the divine creates through you. You tell the direction. So what direction are you wanting to go in? What direction have you already gone in, and you deserve to pat yourself on the back? Do it right now. Think of it in your mind. Yeah. Give yourself that hug. Know that you deserved it. You did. You do. Every thought sets the fulfillment of its desire in motion in mind. And mind sees the thing as directly done. And mind, we're talking about the divine universal essence, the God energy, whatever word you attach to it. So, you want something? Well, abracadabra. Well, what do you mean, abracadabra? Well, abracadabra is from an Aramaic phrase, and it meant, I will create as I speak. And that's exactly what we teach. Yeah, thoughts are things. And it even says it in the Bible, imagine that. One of my favorite verses, Matthew 7:7 and 8. It is, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. And he who seeks finds. And to him who knocks, it is opened. So there's that door there waiting for you to knock on it. There's that dream waiting for you to follow through on. There's that appreciation you need to show yourself. Because you're worth it. The limitless possibilities are in each and every one of you. So I know for you, and I know for me, that the journey has just begun. We are going forward with the limitless possibilities. And for my dear, sweet K.D. Lang, yay-haw!